Hey everyone, it's Shelby with Shelby's Crafty Corner, and we are here today because we are going to stuff a 24-inch evergreen pine base with 10-inch mesh, and I'm going to show you how. So we're going to start off with two 10-inch rolls of mesh. These are not full rolls because we're not going to use full rolls, okay? This is a white fabric mesh, and this is a purple fabric mesh. I really like fabric mesh, especially for spring, because it doesn't give off that shiny metallic look that a lot of the other meshes can give off. So we're going to use a fabric mesh. Now this one, I need to cut a straight edge because I used it last. And so now we're going to take these out, and I have it on my table here, and I'm kind of just pulling it out to just straight arm's length. So it's going to come out to be about 17 to 22 inches. And this one's 17, and that's actually a little smaller than I like. So, you know, 17 to 20 inches is really perfect. My table's taller now than what I'm used to, so my arm might have to go a little higher. But we're gonna start off by cutting. I think we're gonna do 5 of each color and then just see how that goes. That way we don't have excess. We can always cut more. Make sure you have a good pair of scissors while you're cutting your mesh, because you don't want to fight it. If you have a bad pair of scissors, you're gonna fight it and it makes your life miserable, so don't do that. So let's set those off to the side. Let's bring our pine back over here and snip this tag off. These came from Hobby Lobby during the Christmas season. I usually stock up on them because they're so cheap. So $12.99, which they did go up, but I got super lucky and was able to find some more $12.99 ones and get those 50% off. So it makes a very cheap base. If you have your tax ID as a business, you can also purchase from Sims Pottery. There's lots of places online that carry bases too, like Craft Outlet, The Wreath Shop, White Bayou Wreaths and Supplies, Deco Exchange. All of those places usually will have some sort of base. Even if it's not a wreath, they do carry a lot of swags as well. I like the evergreen pine because they're thick. I like that thick look. So what we're going to do first is we are going to squish our base. We are going to turn it into an oval. I like working with ovals because it's so pleasing to the eye. And I don't like this round. Bleh. You end up with a big old hole in the middle. So what you're going to do, you can either pull it against you, you can squish it, put it on the ground, however you want to do it. I just kind of work with it. You can put it up against me or squish it on the table. And I just turn it into an oval. Just like this. Looks a little funky. Now we are going to take our mesh, and you don't have to use, you can use 3 colors if you want. I use 3 colors a lot, but I have 2 colors of the fabric and it matches what I'm doing, so we're just going to use just fabric for today. And so I'm taking this mesh and it automatically rolls, okay? We are going to roll this inside, scrunch it together, and place it into our evergreen pine. Now I'm starting along the outer ring of the wreath. I'm not going to the outside. I'm not on the outside very edge, but I'm going to the outer ring on top of it. It sits kind of on top of that ring, and then I grab 2 little pine tines and twist them around. And then I move on to the next one. Now I'm not scrunching these up together. I am putting them side by side, just like this, leaving a little space. We don't need just a whole lot of mesh just scrunched together in there. You get to use less mesh by doing it this way, and it just makes it, you still have the full effect without, you know, overcrowding it. That's what the word I was looking for. So we're just going around this edge, adding this mesh. And so far, I'm almost halfway done, and I've only used 2 of each color. So I think we might make it with 5. And these don't have to be perfectly spaced. Some may be a little closer than others, but just whatever your eye likes. The more that you create, the more you'll realize what you like. I just like to do some trim. some trim work. Couple of more pieces. I really like the crumple method. I think it's a very full method. It creates a very cute mesh, the little ruffles along. I just think it's very eye-pleasing. I use the crumple method for wreaths and for garlands. One more purple. And now we have our completed outside edge. Now you could leave it like this if you wanted to. If you had a lot of big stuff going on in there, you didn't need a lot of mesh. We're not going to. However, we are just going to add some poofs. So we are going to take, I'm going to take my purple, because the wreath that I'm making for this has a lot of very light colors, very pastel colors. So I need some darkness to get back there so that they pop off instead of blending in with it. So we're going to use this purple. Now, I did already use this for another project, so I might run out, but we'll see. I'm just going to drop it to the ground. I'm going to gather this in my hand just like this. Actually, I'm going to fold it to the inside. So I'm going to take my two outer edges, fold them to the inside a little bit, and then gather it. That's going to create it to automatically fold to the inside as I work. So I'm just going to stick this in here and twist some pine around it. And I'm just gonna start making some poofs. So I'm just gonna gather these pieces and just start poofing it around the inner ring. Just some little poofs, nothing crazy. My ribbon's getting attached. I'm taking it. When you're fighting the end of a roll of mesh, it makes it a little hard. We're just gonna poof it. That's probably about an 8-inch poof. You don't want it too big because you don't want your mesh just sticking out when you start putting your objects inside. But all this is providing us is a landing area and just some coverage. It's covering up that green and providing a place for us to support our little knickknacks that we're going to put in here. Again, another poof. So this is the exact same method I did on the wreath before when I used this mesh. So I say that to say you can get 2 wreaths with 2 colors out of each roll of this mesh. Now this one did come up a little bit short, but it's because the last wreath I did purple poofs and the curls as well. So I obviously have a lot more white left over. But what we can do here is grab a little bit more purple. We put so many goodies in here, this is all going to be covered up anyway, but my little frayed end here is going to be sort of tucked up under this last poof that I did. I'm just going to shove it up under that poof and cover it up. And we'll do 2 more poofs to finish this off. again, I'm going to tuck this up under this other poof. That way my ends aren't catching onto anything. Now, I'm also going to take my pine tines here in the middle, and I'm going to do a bit of twisting them together to create a backbone for the middle of my wreath. That way, the items that I do place in the middle have a little bit of structural strength. Something to adhere to and just hold them in. That way they don't just fall backwards. Just a couple, just to get some stability in there. And there you have it. There's our base. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but it's going to look super cute when we start adding all of our goodies to it. So find the video, which I will probably post in the comments, or if this is on YouTube, it will be up here, maybe over here. We'll see. Stay tuned. Bye, guys. Okay, so we have this bunny drying, and oh, that just dripped onto there. Because it's getting good and hot now. So let's go ahead and place him back up here and see if we can't get to work. Get to work. Now I know y'all kind of seeing a little bit of a bottom view. That's okay. I didn't want its eyes, you know, you don't want him pointing down because he's going to be on the front door. He is straight in there. Let's see if I can't. There we go. That's a little bit better. Let's try that. Let's try this angle for a little bit. So now I typically do place my bow and ribbon first, but I think we're going to place some florals first. We're going to see how that looks. I do have some bigger florals to play around with in here. So let's try placing these florals first. Oh, in case y'all didn't know, this video is being recorded in front of a live studio audience, which is my family. So any background noise you hear, you're just going to have to disregard because it is what it is. Anyway, back to this. So I do have some big components in here, one of which is the December Diamonds egg that does match this. We're probably going to put that in this general area. But let's play around with some florals first. I'm going to go and clip that off. So I have these gorgeous flock sprays. And I just got one of each color. And I really want to make this big. So we're going to see about sprinkling these throughout here. Now all of these supplies came from Ba Bam Wreaths. B-A-B-A-M. Ba Bam Wreaths. Her Etsy shop. Now, let's see how many pieces individually we have. Looks like 5. That's pretty good. I typically try to tear them apart so that they stay together, but we'll see how that works out. There's 1, 2. Wow. 1, 2. You can actually separate into more. Just kind of depends on what you're going for. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You really have 8 pieces coming off of this, which is a lot. Because we're using 2 colors, this might be enough for 2 wreaths. We'll see. We'll see how full we want it. Let's separate this one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kason, I'm recording a video right now, so could you not? Hey guys, okay, we are back and we are going to finish this wreath base that we started, and we are going to make this adorable Easter pastel colored bunny wreath. This is from Ba Bam Wreaths. It's actually December Diamonds, but she carried these in her shop, and that's where I got this when I went and visited her warehouse a couple of weeks ago. And so I'm just going to show you guys real quick how we are going to attach this bunny. So it's completely styrofoam, super lightweight. I don't have any joints or anything to run any zip ties around to secure it to my wreath base. So what we're going to do is we are going to take some floral pins. You can get these by the hundreds for super cheap at like Hobby Lobby or something. And we're going to take 2 pipe cleaners that we use to tie our bows. And how we're going to do this is we're going to take one over on his hindquarters here. And we're just going to stick this into the bunny just like that and hold that pipe cleaner over there. We're going to do the same thing to this side. Just like that. Then, I don't know if this is heated up yet. It's not. So, I'm going to put this on my wreath, but just know I will go back and do this later. I will put hot glue over this floral pin right here in this crevice to hold that in, or it's just going to pull right out of the styrofoam. But we're going to see if we can't get it attached without it. Oh, actually, I take that back. We're going to need to put one more. We'll have his bottom secured, but he definitely needs his head secured too. There's various ways of doing this. You know, you can kind of really choose how you want to do it. This is just how I like to do it. Okay, now let's put this tag off of there. And let's see if we can get this attached to our wreath base without pulling these out. The hot glue gun's getting there. It's just not quite there yet. So I might have to take this off just so I can get a better hold of it. Now I'm not putting this bunny right in the middle. I'm going more toward the top. So I'm going to run his head, her head, whatever. And I'm going to string this pipe cleaner through that inner ring. I'm not going to pull too tight because for one, I don't want it to come out of its head. I'm just twisting that just like that, and we'll clip that off in just a little bit. We're not going to yet in case it comes out and we got to redo it. But until we get that glued down, we'll have to leave it like that. Then I'm going to do the same thing down here with his little hindquarters. We're going to push him in and go around that inner ring. And then just twist those pipe cleaners. Oh, see, I just pulled it right out because I pulled too tight. All right, let's see. See if we can get some glue out. No, not really. All I'll do is make a bunch of spider webs. Okay, let's pull it gently through and twist. At least we have an idea for now of where this bunny is, so we can place all of our other objects. Okay, now I'm getting some glue out. And so I'm going to take my wire cutters for just a second. These are nip picks and they're very heavy, so they make a very good weight when you're trying to do this. I'm going to get some glue on those floral pins and just around some of that bunny leg. I can stick to that fabric mesh so we can just get it good and secure. Come back around the back of the head. Definitely get that one. Let those sit for just a second and dry a little bit. Okay, so we have this bunny drying, and oh, that just dripped onto there because it's getting good and hot now. So let's go ahead and place him back up here and see if we can't get to work. Get to work. Now I know y'all kind of seen a little bit of a bottom view. That's okay. I didn't want its eyes, you know, you don't want him pointing down because he's going to be on the front door. He is straight in there. Let's see if I can't. There we go. That's a little bit better. Let's try that. Let's try this angle for a little bit. So now I typically do place my bow and ribbon first, but I think we're going to place some florals first. We're going to see how that looks, because I do have some bigger florals to play around with in here. So let's try placing these florals first. In case y'all didn't know, this video is being recorded in front of a live studio audience, which is my family. So any background noise you hear, you're just going to have to disregard because it is what it is. Anyway, back to this. So I do have some big components in here, one of which is the December Diamonds egg that does match this. We're probably going to put that in this general area. But let's play around with some florals first. I'm going to go and clip that off. So I have these gorgeous flock sprays. And I just got one of each color. And I really want to make this big. So we're going to see about sprinkling these throughout here. Now all of these supplies came from Ba Bam Wreaths. B-A-B-A-M. Ba Bam Wreaths. Her Etsy shop. Now let's see how many pieces individually we have. Looks like 5. So that's pretty good. I typically try to tear them apart so that they stay together, but we'll see how that works out. There's 1, 2. Wow. 1, 2. These actually separate into more. Just kind of depends on what you're going for. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You really have 8 pieces coming off of this, which is a lot. Because we're using 2 colors, this might be enough for 2 wreaths. We'll see. We'll see how full we want it. Let's separate this one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kason, I'm recording a video right now, so could you not? Alright, so let's take this 8 and we're just going to dry run this. We're just going to start placing these around the edge, alternating colors, and just see where we like them to lay. Now, this is kind of my midway point. This is kind of my halfway line. So what I'm going to do is kind of just make that shift here. Now, this looks a little wild and crazy, but I like it. It's definitely different. And these are very long, so if you do want to stick them up in there a little bit higher, I'm going to leave my bottom ones long because it creates that elongated, look a little bit more. But these side pieces, if you want to just stick those in a little further so that they're not, as long, to really keep that oval shape that we were going for. So I like the placement of those, so let me grab a glue stick and we can go ahead and glue those down. And I have a few pieces left for another day on something else. You can just kind of pull those out, run some glue, stick them back in. You can twist some pine around them for some extra hold if you wanted to. I did glue this one down. I feel like it needs a little bit more, just like that. Now we're starting off very fun and very whimsical. Loving it so far. Okay, let's put those to the side and let's move on with our next floral spray, which are these fun guys. And these also came from Ba Bam Wreaths. And these are super fun. See the details? It's like just little foam curls. So we're going to separate these out a little bit and see what we can play with on here. That just went all the way down. Oh, there we go. So these separated into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So let's see where this one takes us. I have 2. We might need to use both. But these are really long too, so these are just going to be in addition to what we have going on here. And I'm just kind of mixing them in with these flock sprays. Super cute, right? You can spread these out. And we're just going to go ahead. I know I want it there, so I'm just going to go ahead and commit to that. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one, because obviously I want the same thing on the other side. And I'm just mixing it in with those flock sprays. And we'll do one more on the bottom, just like that. Well, if I can get it in there. There we go. There we go. Those are a lot of fun. They look like florals, but I guess they're florals. I'll have 2 more. So let's go, same thing up top. Don't want it off to the side too much. We do want to keep it straight. I don't want it doesn't need to be leaning out there. So for now, I'm just going to take 1 more off of this pick. And then we can always add more later if we feel like we need it. Right there in the middle. Spread that green back out with it. We really just need to spread these out and give them a little bit of life. So that's good for now. So I think what we're going to do is I do know that I want this egg here. So we're going to place it and we're going to go ahead and place our bow. So this is the back and I am just going to hit it with some glue very generously. And we'll just hold it just for a second, let it dry for just a minute. There we go. Okay. We'll see if that'll stay. I have to come back to it. Okay, ribbon. Now, this one is a Ba Bam Wreaths exclusive. I don't think she has any more, but I absolutely fell in love with this ribbon. It is a fair silk ribbon. but these are her colors that she designed, and they are so stunning. And then we're going to pair this with another one from her shop, which is a pink glitter ribbon. For that pop of glitter. And then we're going to take this adorable polka dot that just, the colors go so well with this. I love using this for Easter and spring. Now this one you can probably find at Craft Outlet or the Wreath shop. The number on it is RGA 166313. And then this is another one of my favorites that I just love for a pop of softness and fun. It is a Regency ribbon. The number on it is MTX 62877. Right there, can I see that? Maybe, okay. So these are just some fun ribbons that I wanted to make a bow with. So let's take the pin out of this and make us a bow. I love this. I mean, just look at that ribbon. Just, can you hear it? It feels so good. Okay, let's unroll it. And we're going to start off with a tail. And I'm just going to gather it in my hand like this and make a loop. And then I'm going to make another loop. It's going to sit right here, just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to leave this a little bit long, but not too long. Clip that off just like that. It's going to go right here. Now we're going to take this ribbon and we're going to go on top with our next 2.5 inch, which is the polka dot. Actually, I think I'm going to switch it up. So usually, you know, you stack your largest to smallest, but I'm going to throw in this 1.5 inch pink glitter ribbon first, just so I can kind of have pattern solid, pattern solid. So I'm just putting my tail up here like that, and I'm going to twist it, and I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to twist it again and make another loop. And I'm making my loops and tails opposite of what's going on behind it. And so we're just going to leave this a little long and clip it. Now let's come on top with our polka dot. And we're going to do it the same way, a tail, twist and loop, twist and loop. Such a cute stinking ribbon. I love polka dot ribbon. Big polka dots, little polka dots, I love all of it. And then we'll come back on top with our little finisher. And this is a felt ribbon. Like, it is so cute. I don't know why I love it so much. No, it is a little bit because it's so thick. It is very hard to pinch and twist. But just give it your best shot. Let's set those to the side. Grab a pipe cleaner. Then we're just going to run our pipe cleaner through the center and just pull and twist to secure our bow. And now we can come in here. This crease is going to kind of go right where his foot is to our inner ring. Run it through there. I can find it. Cannot seem to find it. So run this through. There we go. Gosh, I could not stick that through there. Now don't pull it too tight. You don't want it to clench like some booty cheeks. You don't want that. You want it just tight enough to lay nicely on your wreath. There we go. Okay. Now we can fluff this out just like this. Recording. Would you like to come say hi?
Me like cake.
Oh gosh. Be my husband, everyone. He said he likes cake. Lord. Told y'all, recorded in front of a live studio audience. Okay, now let's clip these ribbons. This felt, we're just going to angle up just like that because you can't dovetail it. This one we're going to fold and dovetail. Fold and dovetail. Fold and dovetail. Slant. Dovetail. Dovetail. And dovetail. Oh, that one did not dovetail straight. Let's do a redo on that one. A little crooked. There we go. Oh, that looks so super cute already. Holy moly. That looks so great. Oh, my tails are going the wrong way. What in the... There we go. So there is where we are so far. Now let's take these ribbons and sprinkle them around this wreath. I love that polka dot. I think the polka dot and this one are my favorite on here. As crazy as that is, because that fair silk is popping. Now let's turn this just a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing on the side. And we are going to take our 4-inch.
Mom, can I use this knife to cut the ribbon off the grate? And how am I going to get it off?
You have to use a sharper knife. Oh,
Like
sorry, I'm bumping the
one?
camera.
This one?
Yeah, just be very careful.
What
So we're just going to
edge
take
do I
a tail like this. And we're going to come up here to the corner of our wreath. Let's see, do I want it in front or behind? Let's go a little bit behind our sprays. Find some pine and twist it around like so. Then we can bring it back up. Just like that. And now we can decide if we want to do a loop like this or just a tail. I think we're going to do a loop. I think I am going to do a loop. And bring it down right above my egg. Find some more pine and twist it. If you don't have 2 pine pieces, just twist one around and tuck it back in. And then you can go back in and hit it with a little bit of glue just so it doesn't go anywhere. Uh-oh. Hang on, guys. Let me go get my backup battery. My battery just died. I'll be right back.
I'm being very
Okay, just hit that with a little bit of glue right there. And trim this off right here. And then we'll just give it a little dovetail. And another little dovetail. Okay, so we have that big loop going over there for us and this one over here. So that is enough of this big ribbon. We don't need any more of that. Not even a little bit. So because we have this 2.5 inch, we're going to add it also up here with this one. And we're just going to do a little tail of it. I'm just taking those same pines I used, tucking it in and twisting those around. That is a terrible dovetail. Hold, please. I cannot get these right to save my life today. It's just very sharp. Here we go. But I do that a lot. I run into that a lot when I'm using canvas ribbon. It kind of just folds on you and plays with your emotions a little bit. So just a pop of that ribbon up there. And we're going to throw in a few more pops of it around the wreath too, because duh, it's adorable. Come right in this bottom area. Again, grab some pine. If you can't find two pieces, twist one around it and hit it with a little glue. And it won't go anywhere. Now, this one's going to be a little short. We're going to bring this one down a little bit longer, just to keep the shape of the wreath. Just keep that dimension going with it. I'm just going to go ahead and trim this one. And go ahead and bring it up top. Actually, we can go ahead and dovetail it. We'll just fold it. And then we'll stick it up top here. Still a little long, so we're going to trim it. There we go. Now we are going to take some of this pink felt and we're going to throw a little bit of that in there because I just like it. It looks like candy, just candy, like ribbon candy. And so I really like it. So let's pop that in there with this polka dot. And it's just easier to use those same ties to twist that in. And really, if we wanted, we could just do a little loop of this and twist it down in here. Because of the texture of that one, it really flows nicely. Now we do need to come and add a little pop over here. Same thing. Don't want it to look odd and uneven. Let's see if I can find some pine where I want it to go. That's not glued down. Now let's see. I don't want to get in the way of the egg, but I wonder if I couldn't loop this down like that. And I do like that. It's a little bit different. I don't usually do it like that, but I like it. I like to do things a little different sometimes. Hit it with some glue and cut it. So that pops that down there with that one. That one's already slanted up there with this one. And there we go. Now we can take this pink glitter and we're just going to put a couple of pops in there and then we are done with the ribbon. Ribbon placement does take a while if you're a ribbon lover like me and you use a lot of ribbon. But, I mean, when the ribbon's done, you are just almost done with your wreath. Fun designs like this, I did use a lot of ribbon. A lot of ribbon, but that's okay. We like ribbon. We like ribbon. Yes, we do. Now that ribbon kind of got a little funny in production. Looks like it got a little fold in it. That's okay. Still very usable. Put this one just right under here. Like so. Maybe we can get that to straighten out just a little bit. That would be great. I keep hitting my camera stand. Stop doing that. Stop that. All right, let's get these tails out of my way and into the trash can. I need a bigger trash can, y'all. I have this tiny one down here, and it's already full. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Little tiny tin. So I have this greenery that I think we're going to sprinkle throughout because I think it's going to add... It's a very light greenery, but it's going to add some darkness and some lightness. Does that make sense? No? Anybody follow? Probably not. So let's try to pop some of this in here just for some color, cover up some of that pine. And we're just going to snip it. Snip it. Now these are long pieces, so a few of these can be cut in half. So let's see where we're at with that. Because if you have a long piece, unless you're using the whole length, like that, that's great. But if you need little pieces, cut them in half so you're not wasting that half by just shoving it into your wreath. I don't think I'm going to add long, lengthy green pieces because I do that when I'm making a floral wreath or something that's just real earthy. I don't necessarily want this green to hang out. I just want pops of it in my wreath. Just to add some depth to it. And so I'm just going to go around and start finding some of my holes that I have in here. Well, this one does not want to go anywhere. There we go. We're just going to start sprinkling this through, going around kind of the outer edging. Because it is spring and Easter, you can add this, what I like to call vegetation, to it. Bring out those garden vibes. This is a tall piece, so we're going to run it up top. This little fill in there. Another tall piece, so we'll run it opposite. Actually, let's go in between this mesh. Spread some of this out. You don't need it overcrowded. So I think this is enough of this bush. Just like that. Then I did bring in some of these pink curly sprays. I love curly sprays on a whimsical design because they're so fun and whimsical. So we're going to cut these or pull them apart. Sprinkle these in. I have 2 sprays of these. Oh, let me curl that back down. Y'all can probably hear that YouTube behind me. Sorry. Now we can dry run these too. Make sure they're going where I want them to go. That can kind of go in that little hole right there. That's fun. This is a wider one. Go up there. Stick one in here. That's probably too close. I don't know. We'll see. Leave that for a second. I'll drop it. Oh, I did. up under that bow there. Elongate that one a little bit. And then, let's see. This one might be a little much on this side, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that one looks awkward. So we might, I think we're just gonna go like that. We're just gonna go with the 5. And let's go ahead and plug these in. Got another glue stick. I like to work in odd numbers. It's like, it just looks better to the eye than always doing an even amount of everything. And not everything just has to be placed super just perfect and symmetrical. Things can be whimsy and wild and fun. So I have a couple of pink eggs too, and these are cute yarn ones I got at a retreat. Who made these? I don't remember. I don't remember who made these. But these came from a retreat in a little goodie bag, but they're cute little yarn eggs. You can search yarn eggs on Etsy and you're gonna get as many as your little heart desires. So I think we'll plug these into our little dark spots just like that. Just like that. Now I have some pink roses that we can kind of tuck to hide kind of our internals and different things we have going on. So I'm just going to run this one here to just kind of cover up that hole we have going right there. There's one. Let's take this one and go right up here, just like that. And then let's see where else we have. Sometimes you gotta really take a step back and see what you're looking at, see what's going on. There's kind of an empty space there. It doesn't necessarily need anything, any filler. This does. I'm gonna stick this one over here. You can't really see it, but it is on the side, so when it's on a door, you know, the people that are walking up to your door are gonna kind of see all the angles you have going. And so I do think I am going to put one right there. A little filler in there with that purple, just like that. Now that is everything I brought to my table, but I do feel like I need some pops of something. I do need a few more florals. So let's go over here. Hello, let's go. Oh, I'm about to lose you. I don't want to lose you. No! Let's go over to my floral wall and take a look at what we have going on. And let's see kind of what else we could kind of pop in here to give us a little more coverage. We do have some pink pretty sprays. These could be fun to kind of pop around in there. But I think looking more so for florals to give it a little more warmth. And so we can either go with this pink. Oh gosh, it's hot on everything. That's all hot on. Yep. Definitely. So I think this is kind of a allium. Yeah, it's an allium spray. We could pop some of that in there, which is really pretty, but I do think it's going to be a little bit long. Maybe not. You know what? I think we're gonna pop this in there. I like that. All right, let's turn you back over here. Let's pop some of this allium in here. Okay, pull this out. This is a snowball allium bush. It's number 63095 PK. I do think this came from Ba Bam Wreaths as well. She has a lot of good stuff. And we can kind of use these pieces and give them a sprinkle. Give them a little sprinkle in here. A little sprinkle. You can get quite a few pieces out of this too. Oh, not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I like, that's a really pretty warmth. I do like that. Oh, I like that a lot. That definitely needed the pop of that with some coverage. Some coverage. That's pretty. Yes, I like it a lot. I like that one a whole lot. I like this fern that's on it. Like, it's like a, what's the word? Variegated fern looking piece. Yeah, you know, all that fancy stuff. All those fancy words. This is a very nice light bush that we can pop in here and just look very sweet and not overpower, but give us the coverage that we're looking for to finish this off. I'm going to snip these. Got 4 more pieces this way. Couple of more and then we are done. He's out back, I think.
You know where his baseball glove is?
Oh, top of our closet. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 1 more here. So we can stick this under here. And then we are finito. Look how adorable that turned out. I love it. All right, guys, and we did that in under an hour. So, thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it, and join me next time. Hopefully it'll be live. We'll see. Bye, everybody.